Well, F it.
Theoretically.
Suck it.
This chroma
We'll
key's
go
getting
jive.
Screwed up.
Yep. This chroma key is our tribute to the late great Elwie Yost, who, if you are a TV Ontario aficionado from back in the day,
Indeed.
or if you ever watched Speed and wondered what that man's father was like, I mean the writer, that is, not Keanu Reeves.
Right.
Then you might be aware of Elwie Yost, who was the host of two little shows on TV Ontario, our local public broadcaster. It was Magic Shadows, which played during the week, and Saturday Night at the Movies, which played, of course, Saturday. So, yes, and he actually was, you would play movies in a serialized format, which is actually kind of what inspired me to want to do the Undersea Kingdom on this show and do serials out in the world. Well, he did a lot of things where he interviewed himself with really atrocious chroma key, and that's what I've been trying to get to here. He actually interviewed a lot of celebrities, punched way above his weight class, because people just like talking to the guy. But when he interviewed himself, it was usually the worst 70s and 80s era chroma key that money could buy. Mm-hmm. And this is a government broadcaster, so let your imagination run free. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, hello.
We are the HeyDudes.
Yes, sorry we've been away for a couple of weeks. We've had some health issues and stuff like that.
We
shook off the rabies though. So
what happened to me was I was abducted several times by aliens and viciously gang probed. And also sometimes just gently gang probed, but always probed.
Well, those aliens are cuddlers, you know.
They are, some of them, yeah.
Hold you and stroke your hair.
They do, and then they probe and probe and probe
away, even on the first date.
So, as you may have noticed from the title and from everything, today we are doing a show because we thought, God damn it, we should do a show. But we haven't actually managed to plan anything particular. So we haven't got a guest.
So we'll just be chatting.
We're just going to be chatting. We found a couple of things we might show off, which is why I don't think you actually wrote this in the Twitch or YouTube title. But
yeah, I sort of did.
Grab bag of fun?
Well, just chill. We may watch some weird educational films.
Yeah, we've been educated a little bit.
See how it goes.
We're just going to say hey. So if any of you are joining us in chat, please reach out and say hey. Your input could really shape what we do tonight, because we got very little frickin' idea.
Yep. So we're just going to babble mostly, stuff like that.
So yeah.
Try to make things vaguely entertaining.
Vaguely. We have some interesting things. Well, we had some interesting weeks of non-interesting-tude recently. And we're going to have some more interesting stuff going forward. A little programming note, we may be a little spotty again at the beginning of August for shows, because we are moving to a completely new underground bunker. Or it might be above ground in places. We're not sure yet. We haven't settled on who's living where. But we are moving to a new location, still in Ottawa, and it's still undisclosed.
Well, we're not going to give the address.
Right.
It's always going to be undisclosed.
Always going to be undisclosed, yeah.
So stop on by 1695 Waverly Street and knock on the door and come on in.
Yes, please do that. If there is a 1695 Waverly Street anywhere in Ontario, go there right now and ask for the HeyDudes.
And ask for food.
And food, yes.
We'll give you food.
Yeah. We'll definitely, whoever is there at 1693, 5, which one was it? 1695 Waverly Street. Or 93, one of those places.
Who knows?
If someone's there, they legally have to give you food. There may be some sarcasm going on here. Please do not. The HeyDudes are not experts on anything and don't know where things are. Please do not do anything they say.
Hey, Petra's in chat. Hi, Petra.
Hello, Petra. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Yes.
Yeah, we were AWOL for a couple of weeks
Yes.
there.
Mm-hmm. Absent without lunch bags.
Scott had some court cases he had to go to.
Court cases and
probation meetings.
Probation meetings. I had to write an essay about the Civil War.
Yeah.
The Albanian Civil War. And also I had to go to the corner and think about what I've done. But we're back, and we're going to be doing the next couple of weeks okay. I had just done a programming note that we might be absent or sporadic for the first week or two of August because we're moving. But it'll be another undisclosed location in this town. Although we did tell people to go to 1695 Waverly Street in any city in North America and tell them that the HeyDudes said that there's food. So that's where we're at right now.
So we got to do the whole packing thing, which is always a massive blast of fun.
Yes.
Big ropes of gooey fun blasting out, I tell you.
That's genuinely unsavory.
Sorry, Petra. That was
too. Yeah. I hope there are other guests to spread out the horror of what you just said. Now,
no, just Petra.
Okay. Well, and whoever else is watching at home or on the YouTubes in the future. If it is the future, tell us if we survived.
Yeah. No one survives.
No one survives the future. Oh my God, that's deep, Dan. So we're just kind of winging it a bit today. We've got a few ideas of things we want to talk about. There's stuff we've been kind of wanting to talk about generally for a while. We've been experimenting with some different formats on the show. We've had movie watching, we've had interviews, we've had art contests, which we are still evenly matched. One day, one of us will be declared the best artiste in the world.
Right.
But until that day.
Speaking of sheer artistry, your art impressed thousands of people recently.
Yes. I haven't been doing completely nothing, but staring at the wall and whimpering to myself. No, I have been engaged in subversive commercial art. Yeah. Actually, this is Dan and I said some things back and forth. I said I'm going to draw a thing. He said you should draw a thing. And so what happened was I went out and got some generic cereal for Dan, some generic Frosted Flake cereal.
And he drew this picture.
I drew this picture, yes. If you can see that, yes.
They're adequate.
Yes. So I drew that picture and put it on his Frosted Corn Flakes, and he was satisfied.
Yeah. So I posted on Reddit. I bought an off-brand box of cornflake cereal, and my smart-ass roommate sticks this picture he drew on the box, and it got over 12,000 likes or up arrows.
Yes.
Karma.
So 12,000 people thought it was good enough to put an up arrow on, and a bunch of folks said things like "fair food," and arguing about whether or not that was true. Someone called them corn fakes.
Corn fakes was good.
Yeah, they'll suffice. A very
good.
Popular answer.
It's Troy the stripped cat and his favorite cereal brand, Flaky Frosted.
That's me. Yeah, and that's our mascot.
Another comment: Leo the lion and his favorite is mildly sweet cardboard scraps.
That's tasty. Good. That's tasty. Yes. So this is one of the many things we've been doing with our massive amounts of free time and your dollars through whatever way you're donating money to us or not donating money to us. By the way, if you have an Amazon Prime membership, they give you free subscriptions you can make.
Yeah, so you can always subscribe.
If anybody feels like it, you don't have to. Honestly, there may be some kind of fat boy in a hot tub that you think is hotter than us, and so be it. I mean, whatever does it for you, whatever stirs your emotional and political soul, please do what you want. But if you were to like us enough to subscribe using Bezos bucks, Jeff Bezos himself, this is coming out of his pocket and maybe preventing him from going to space. So do it. Yeah. So but we have at least one actual subscriber and then me on another channel. That's what I know of so far. We may have more. I haven't checked. But that's what we got. And we've got off-brand Troy the tiger dude, the striped cat,
Timmy the tiger.
Cat. Yes, and
some people are quite enamored of your sense of humor. They were saying, and
yes,
they want to see you do more. You'll have to get acceptable footage sometimes of those times when I fall asleep at the computer and you put a hat on me.
I could do that. I could do that.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
You'd have to put the lights on, and you had to make sure the camera's
Well,
not
what I could do is put the hat on you, and then bring a big bright light up real close.
Yeah.
And then just go
yeah,
like that with it, and then, hey, Dan, you're on TV, or something, and then you'll stumble around and bump into things, and I'll pin a tail on you like a donkey at a children's party, and so this is amongst the things we've done. What have you guys been up to?
Yeah.
If anyone's in the chat and wants to say hello, and wants to say one thing they've done, we can talk about that one thing.
Yeah, what have you been up to, Petra?
Yeah.
Or faithful viewer.
Yes, we have.
You had to scoot in a little bit or something. Just a little scooter in. That's
scooting.
Better.
Yes. So yes, you'll notice if you've been following along at home, playing the home game. We've been messing around with our background. We've had this one for a couple, but I'm quite enamored of it. In the new television set.
Yeah, we could always get a new one sometime.
Well, we gotta sort of every time you do that, you gotta start a payment plan, and you gotta get your credit approved. I know. It's a whole thing. We could do like they used to do at the Hudson's Bay Company. In a neighborhood, all the housewives would get together, and one of them would order the washing machine. And then everyone in the neighborhood would come over and use the washing machine. Right. And then after about 25 days of it, they'd return it for store credit. And then someone else in the neighborhood would order the washing machine. And then they do the same thing. They do this over and over again. And that is how they stuck it to Prince Rupert.
And it was like the neighborhood washing machine?
Yeah, there would be a new one every month or so. And then no one would have to pay for it.
That's fucked up.
That
is weird.
That's what it's all about. That's hardcore. That's next frickin' level washing machine fraud. So yeah, that's what this country was built on. So the Hudson's Bay Company, by the way, for our American viewer, was Canada's oldest corporation. I think it was bought by the people who own J.C. Penney now. But before that, it went back to about the 1600s and was a fur trading organization that somehow evolved into Canada's greatest department store.
You know a lot about it.
I know this much, which is this much more than people know about Canada. So I know things.
Yeah.
I know that one thing.
That's impressive.
It's very impressive.
We grew up with the Eaton Center, and you go there and look at the displays. A few days before Christmas, when people smiled at each other and there was still hope in the world. Yeah, and then me and some friends used to... Some friends and me and I
used to go and... drop pennies on Santa Claus because we were horrible human beings, and eventually they put up a plastic shield to stop us from doing that, which is probably good because we tormented that poor old man so much.
You horrified him.
That's true.
Dink. Oh.
And I'm sorry Santa's the world over for what we did.
He was just trying to help little children,
Yes, he was just trying to help little children, and then we stuffed him in the dryer.
Yeah,
that's what that was just now. By the way, we live, of course, in an underground abyss where light does not reach, and where the souls of the damned go to hang out. But also, some people come down here and do laundry sometimes. Yeah.
Petra says, in answer to her question of how and what she's been doing.
Yeah.
Not done a whole lot, but waiting for more things to open up and get out and actually be with people. Well, we certainly hear you there. Scott and I got our shots this week.
We are now fully vaccinated.
I'm actually still feeling a little off from it, but
Well, you did grow into a 50-foot monster and rampage
Yeah,
through the
yeah.
center, and
But
you know,
supposedly we're 100% proof now against every and all disease.
that's true. We've got
And
pants immunity.
indestructible.
Yeah, that's it. We're indestructible. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
No, Mr. Burns. Even the slightest breeze could indestructible.
Yes. Yes.
Simpsons quote.
There we go. Simpsons. The
Showing
Simpsons
my intellect.
is the literacy of the modern age.
I have to talk about something intellectual now to offset that Simpsons quote. How about Immanuel Kant?
He was a real pissant who was very rarely
stable.
stable.
Yeah. Of course, you brought it back to Monty Python.
I did. This is the thing.
I read Shakespeare once, you know.
I read Shakespeare, and I read a shake and bake package, so I know that much more than you.
And ironically enough, shake and bake is more tragic than Shakespeare.
It really is.
if you have to eat shake and bake,
well, you know,
shake and bakesian.
A few years back,
shakes and baking tragedy.
Several years ago, I don't know. They decided that it would be a good idea on probably an anniversary of the shake and bake. What did
she said, "Happy for you both."
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, his type is so small.
I know.
So teeny.
I had to make the font bigger.
You need to make every font bigger. Although
yes,
I did check my lottery ticket, and I think I've won anywhere between $20 and $90, but I can't tell because of the font. The font that I bigged up the font, and now the font inside the app. I checked with an app. The font inside the app says you won something $0. Or it could be. It could be a 2 or a 9 or something in there as well.
Could be still millions. There's a whole bunch of zeros running off
the
screen.
But I think that they were just the cents. But anyway,
must you crush my ever?
We'll see. And if we win the millions, of course, you will never see me again.
Sure, we will.
Okay. Yeah, you probably will.
Floating face down in a big pool after a party, but yeah, we'll still see you.
There we go. Yes.
Who gave him a puff off that joint?
I'm king of the world.
Yeah.
Yes. So I almost won the lottery, or sort of won the lottery. That's another.
You'll
thing.
have to go check your.
I'll have to go to check.
Yeah.
It was raining outside today. I couldn't do it because it was raining outside. Feels sad for me.
That awful, horrible rain.
Yes.
That could mar your. Your head.
Was I saying something before all this?
Something, but I mean,
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, that's those are amongst the things. Oh, I mean, we're talking about pseudo-intellectual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I did actually, for those of you what Write the Funny who might follow us or want to know about writing the funny, I've been reading up a little on the whole, the modern concept of satire and funny.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that's kind of gained a lot of traction in the last 15, 20 years or so is the idea in satire that you should always punch up, not down. Like punch people in power, don't punch the people down below.
Mm-hmm.
But a point that I've been reading about lately is that a lot of the best satirists punched everybody, like even the Modest Proposal about the Irish famine by that great writer guy whose name I'm completely forgetting now. The one where we should eat the Irish babies, and that will improve their situation.
Stephen King, wasn't it?
No, it was before that. It was like the 1800s at some point.
It
might have been the Evening. Yeah,
the Irish famine.
That's the one where the car ate everybody, right?
Yeah.
Christine
is an Irish name. So.
Yes, that makes sense.
There you go.
So anyway, so the idea is that your satire should only attack those who are more powerful, but there's a lot of good stuff that just makes everyone uncomfortable and unhappy, and that's the best satire, or something like that. Actually, a concept that I came across that I'd heard here and there that strikes me as interesting is the idea of clapter. Where you tell a joke, but the joke is really just a way to something that the audience agrees with, so they clap while kind of laughing along. and
Well, that's just setting up the premise, or
yeah, but I mean, if you do that
Yeah.
and then that's the whole joke, then that's not a joke.
right,
That's just a way to get people to agree with you.
setting up the vibe,
Yeah, and
the vibe setter.
yeah, like
Vibe
so. I
check.
mean, there is actually a concept in the
Hey,
theater.
epitome. Yeah, Jonathan Swift.
Jonathan Swift, thank you.
It's epitome.
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 Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Learned Literature. He probably looked it up on Google.
You probably did.
Yeah.
But anything, Jonathan
Or
Swift. Jonathan Swift, by the way, also fought crime as a teenage boy. I think I saw that on the TV at one point.
Yeah, he was called Swift Man.
Swift, yes, Swift.
And he'd jump in and go, "Stop! I have a modest proposal to crime."
Yes, he did, and then he would eat the criminals,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone would be happy.
Mm-hmm. It's very bizarre superpower.
Very
But
bizarre
back then they
superpower.
didn't know
Yes,
any better.
nobody knew any better, or they knew better. They just did it anyway.
Yeah, those Irish were delicious. Served with potatoes, ironically.
So,
God.
yes. So,
If there's any Irish people in the chat, we don't care. No.
yeah.
No.
Look,
We're just joking.
I'm
We
at
love
least
the
a little Irish, and I think people should eat the Irish.
Yeah. They're so good.
Yes.
Some taters.
Taters. So yeah, so
a
I've
shamrock
been
shake.
thinking a little bit that maybe I haven't been offensive enough in my comedy. So I'm going to work on that some more. I'll see who I can offend.
Especially publicly, yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
Dan, your earphones make your head look big.
Yeah, I know. Well, my head is big anyway, so.
I'm not wearing my
I've
headphones.
got-
I just realized that. I
I've
may
got a
need to
5
get
head.
them if we are watching something with sound.
I could,
You have a 5. You have more than a 5 head. You've got
Yeah.
like an 18 head.
I know. I should.
Because it goes all the way back and around your whole body.
I know. I should approach. I don't know, Google maybe or Apple, and
Yeah.
I could just put a tattoo.
What you
Apple.
could do is if you just get
Google.
if you just get a tattoo that's just like white ink along here,
Yeah.
then you can put a projector and play movies and commercials up there. There you
Not
go.
a bad idea.
Yeah, think of that.
Yeah.
You're like you'd be like a walking billboard, except that the billboard could change.
Yeah.
You know, like those trucks that sometimes have projector things
Yeah.
in them
Or I
and
could
cause traffic accidents.
I could put a thin strip of LEDs on my forehead, so
Yeah.
it, like, text would crawl and those
Oh
signs,
right, yeah,
LED, like
yeah,
Google is not evil sort of thing. Because,
Yeah.
They pay me lots of money
Yeah.
for that, so
eat at Joe's.
you get a chose.
Yeah.
I lost my hair years ago, Mr.
Right.
Hair.
So you've been remiss in monetizing this all that time.
I
eh?
know.
You should feel shame.
I got to work on this. This could be easy money.
Easy money.
We're talking huge real estate here.
Yep, that's a lot. I've got this monstrous growing beard happening here, and maybe I should.
Yeah, I shaved mine. If anyone sort of my look,
Well,
But
see,
yes,
I even have.
Scott's going for the Farley Mowat look.
Yeah, I even have less of an excuse because I just recently bought a beard trimming kit, and then have done nothing with
Well,
it.
you trimmed your nails.
I trimmed my fingernails, and then I put it away.
Yeah.
I said, "That's enough of this,"
Yeah.
and I put it away.
I think it would serve you quite well if you saw like a professional beard trimmer,
A professional beard, so someone who marries gay Hollywood men on a serial basis.
No, you know what I mean. A professional barber.
Oh,
okay? A man's barber.
A man's barber for mans.
Yeah. Well, there
Okay.
are some in Ottawa. They're a little expensive, but you
Okay.
could have it done. But yeah, you do need a trimming. You look like a
Yeah.
alpaca that needs a good shaving down.
That's what I am.
Alpaca.
Oh, you just figured it out, Dan.
Scooter
After all
the
these
alpaca.
years.
Yes.
After all these years, I'm an alpaca.
All those years ago.
Yeah, all the years are gone.
That's nice. It does make you look learned.
It's like that.
That's learned.
It's like I'm learned.
That's learned.
Actually, I think that I straddle the line between learned and grizzled prospector.
Yes. Well, you got that red shirt on, so you look like an older Star Trek security guy. So,
Oh yeah, like the guy who's just
yeah.
like days away from retirement, then he gets
Yeah.
sent on one more mission down to the surface.
And then the Gorn shows up.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Gorn.
Yeah.
When the
Gene
Gorn shows
Roddenberry,
up,
give me a call.
the Gorn is awesome.
The Gorn is awesome.
Always makes things interesting when he shows up.
We should have more Gorns.
Yes.
Bring back the Gorn.
Gorn to be wild.
Gorn to be wild.
Sure, some people. That's a Star Trek thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if Petra knows what a Gorn is.
Did you ever watch the Star Trek stuff, Petra? I know Petra. For those of you playing along at home, she is my mother-in-law, and the Gorn is that okay? You got to worry about there's the Gorn from Star Trek, and then there's Gorn, which was a series of it's a game,
really?
and there was also a series of novels about an Earth way on the other side of the sun, so we could never see it. But also there was slavery. There was sex slavery there for some reason. Sorry for those of you with virgin ears.
No, I don't think it was Gorn.
That's the Gorn.
That's the.
It's the best Gorn.
Let me go with. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Gorn there.
Yeah, I think that that might have been one of those episodes they did because they didn't have enough money to do a really good episode. So they just went out to the desert with Shatner and the Gorn.
Oh, stab in time.
Stab in time. Ain't no reason and there ain't no rhyme. It's
so there you go.
Stab in time. Yes. So.
Oh God.
Yes.
So
that's the thing. So these are amongst the things we've learned because Dan and I attempt to write the comedy, and we'll be doing more of it. Actually, we're meeting soon with some of our regular guests to discuss the ideas of having them on to do more things. Like we obviously want to have more guests on. I think I've run through the guests I can think of easily twice or so.
Yeah, and we'll try to get others on, of course. And,
yeah.
But yes, you've been quite enamored with the concept of a panel show, of having a few people on and do it like a game show trivia sort of thing, or
a game show trivia, or it's kind of like you do some kind of a competition, either to know things or to be the most funny, or to just chat about the issues of the day. If there's anyone here from the UK, you know what I'm talking about. For those that don't, there have been a few attempts in North America, like What's My Line, or Match Game. Just the kind of thing where a bunch of usually celebrities or funny people get on and they'll chat about things, guess about stuff, and it's usually funny because the people are interesting personalities who make things funny, and plus it's a big joke, and the points don't matter.
I just had a shower thought.
Really?
The Hollywood Squares was very much like a panel show, wasn't it?
It really was, yeah. It's a very similar idea, yeah. That's definitely panel adjacent. And there are some other panel adjacent shows in the modern world as well. Like, as I said, there are some good examples of UK shows are Mock the Week or QI. A lot of people know that. That's kind of a trivia show about science. But there are some very good shows like that. There are even shows where panel people kind of do other things. Like there's this one called Taskmaster, and if you haven't watched it on UK television, if you got the BritBox or something like that, I'd recommend looking it up. They basically get a bunch of famous people, most of whom are comedians, some are musicians and other things, but they get them together and they're assigned a series of ludicrous tasks, and then they are judged on the outcome of these tasks. They usually send them to, like, they've got a house where weird things happen, or they send them out somewhere, on a canal or something like that, and tell them to do something weird and see who did it best. And I don't know if we'll be able to do that because people will be all over the map, and so far we haven't had many people on that we are actually able to see face to face. Although some of our Ottawa guests probably we will see that eventually. Yeah. So the idea is we're going to try to do more funny stuff. And, I think we got a little bit of that when we did our arts contests. And if this is something you people like, we'll do more of it. Yes.
We'll do anything you say.
Anything you say. Anything. But we're still going to go back to some of our tried and true stuff, like the art contests, obviously, and the watching and heckling things. How are we doing? How long into this? Do you want to maybe take a quick shot at looking at a thing?
Sure.
Because we got a couple of things that we thought we should bring to your attention.
Like would you like to learn how to make a sandwich?
Yes, we're going to teach you now how to make a sandwich, because that's how entertaining all of this is.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes. Everybody knows.
You gotta make a sandwich.
Got to make a sandwich.
Here.
Is that on the thing, and can we show it?
Yeah.
Are you people seeing what we're
I
seeing?
don't even know what I'm doing anymore.
It's so funny.
There we go.
Or you took the other box away.
Yeah,
I see what you did there.
Yeah, no, it always does this weird thing. I hate it. I hate this so much sometimes.
What are we hating?
What have we done?
What have you done, Dan? I thought you had
There we go.
There. Okay.
That's
sure.
there.
There we
good.
go. That's
okay.
one. Okay.
All right. This is how to make a sandwich.
How to make a sandwich from sometime in the 60s. Oh, I can't do this. Pause that for a moment.
Sure.
Just entertain the audience.
Scott has to get his headphones.
Yeah, I forgot to plug in my headphones.
Should make this camera thing bigger.
Yeah, you should make the camera thing bigger, Dan. You should think about what you've done.
I know.
All this moving some socks here in order to plug in my headphones.
Okay, you're plugged in.
Yeah, and
all right.
See if I can hear things.
All right, set.
Yeah. There we go. Aha!
All right.
How to make a sandwich.
The sandwich is practically an American institution. It is a basic essential for lunch boxes, parties, and picnics.
Bottles of pure sugar.
As far as these boys are concerned, well, hamburgers and hot dogs are their idea of a really good meal.
Those kids are starving.
But there are sandwiches and sandwiches.
They can't even afford a table.
When Sally Gasco and her mother bring guests home for a late snack after a movie, they have something special in the way of a sandwich in mind.
What's wrong with Mother's
Sally
hair?
calls it tuna rarebit. Let's watch how she makes it.
Tuna rarebit. I haven't had tuna rarebit in...
Is that like a...
This is a sandwich for forks.
Never had
an open face creation, in other words, with a cheese, milk, and tuna fish mixture on top.
Cheese and milk?
Is that even a sandwich?
Disgusting.
The basis will be rye bread, Mother's idea.
Hi, Marge.
She found that the spicy caraway flavor made a good contrast to the
Rye bread
bland
is
fish
spicy,
and cheese.
ladies and gentlemen.
Caraway is spicy.
Sally puts a cube, about a square inch, of butter into the top of a double boiler. A little butter finds its way into a great many dishes in this kitchen, not only for flavor, but as a blending agent.
Boy, they had real food back then, didn't they?
Yes, real food made from real food and food-related items.
Pouring that milk, dear. Oh, God.
Part of the trick to entertaining unexpected guests
If these women are
is
not
keeping on
successful making a
hand
sandwich,
certain generally
they will be
useful
punished.
foods.
What is that she's putting in there?
One of these is
Cheese or
cheese
butter?
of an easy
Oh.
melting type, which Sally is going to
American
use as a
cheese?
base
That's
for the
a
rarebit.
Is that like
thing.
Velveeta?
To speed
Yeah,
the
probably. I
melting,
hate
she
that.
cuts this into slices in the milk and butter mixture,
American
while
cheese
Mother
is not
butters
cheese.
the bread.
And it's not even American. Canadians invented it.
Sally realized she's dead inside.
The simmer
Yes.
flame keeps
Yes.
the water boiling gently while the cheese is melting, so that
Melt
Sally
the
can go on
cheese.
to other tasks.
No, there's
She
only
adds the
melting
canned
cheese.
chunk-style tuna fish, and notice that she uses a wooden spoon to avoid discoloration of the mixture. Although the tuna rarebit is fairly
think quite
substantial
possibly,
food in
yes.
itself, it is a good idea to add something for variation in color and texture.
Oh, God, I'm bleeding.
Mother is
Oh,
making
no,
a salad dish.
Mother's
Celery,
making a salad
radishes,
dish or else she
olives, and pickles.
She will be punished.
Pickles.
Sally
They're
adds
going all
potato
in.
chips to the menu. They used to be exclusively picnic fare, but they've joined the host of useful accessory foods which make entertaining so much easier
I love
and more
accessories.
fun
Sally, you
for
greedy
teenagers.
cow.
Did you see what that little
She ate a
Oh,
chip.
my God.
The bread was
I'm
toasted
sorry.
quickly in
I'm
the
sorry,
boiler,
ladies and gentlemen,
and
I
the
didn't
rarebit
think
is
we'd
nearly
see
ready
this
to
kind of-
serve.
Rarebit? It's toast. Oh, no. Is that the rarebit in the thing? with the screen?
Maybe I don't know what.
What is that, boy? That looks...
It's
oh.
a
Let's
double
see.
boiler with
What
tuna
will be
and
the
cheese in it.
beverage?
I think.
Looks like
Mother
my dad's
thinks she'll
fridge.
give
I
the
used to store
guests
his
a
beer
choice
in the
of
garage.
Coke or milk. When you can offer guests a choice
Let's have
easily,
both.
But you
it's
could
a
have them
gracious
both
gesture.
as Coke.
Or moke.
Now
Milk,
it's time to
yeah.
serve. 2 slices of toast are neatly arranged on each plate, and the filling, or perhaps we should say covering, goes on top.
Covering. You're not allowed to say filling.
Sally knows you should serve
Oh,
cream
my
dishes with
God,
extra
that doesn't
caution,
look good.
and effective
That's
carelessness
horrible.
here is no asset.
That looks like someone's brain.
Mother is a great
leaked out
believer
of
in the
her
aesthetic
nostrils.
value of parsley, and of course it's good to eat, too.
Aesthetic value of
Now a
parsley.
touch of
Yes.
Tabasco
All that
for
goddamn
color
Parsley
and
will
taste
save her from
surprise.
hell.
Is this
And
parsley
there's
rarebit
tuna
or
rarebit
tuna
a
rarebit?
la Sally Gasco.
No one's going to eat all that parsley.
As we said,
Especially
there are
those little
sandwiches and sandwiches.
Brought to you
A
by
wise
Leftovers.
young
These
homemaker
people
using
aren't
good
even eating the
techniques and
sandwiches
equipment and a
that
little
the
imagination
little-
can
the
turn a
little ladies
sandwich
made.
into festive fare.
These are the worst children ever. They slaved for you. They slaved for you.
Oh, thank you. Now we know how to make sandwiches.
We know how to make sandwiches.
That's incredible.
And we know about the perils of non-table eating.
That tuna rare bit.
I'm just gonna say I liked everything about that sandwich except the tuna.
Yeah, and whatever that goop was that came out of that. Yeah. I'm going to boil the tuna now for sandwiches.
But I will say this.
And the cheese. Oh,
caraway is spicy.
Yeah, and 1950s.
Yeah,
that's spicy.
That's a spicy tuna sandwich.
Imagine what
said no one ever.
Imagine what a jalapeno pepper the damage it would have wrought there. Yeah,
there would be mass wiped out half the neighborhood. Yes. Yes.
They'd be all found.
It would make the international news.
Slices of tuna rare bit scattered around the kitchen and everything.
It's
just tragic.
It's a tragedy. A tragedy. A
yeah.
Human tragedy. Yes. So I think we've learned something about sandwiches.
Sandwiches on the dance floor.
Yes, there's a song about that.
Yes,
which Stephanie introduced me to, and then I introduced Dan to, and now he can't stop singing that in the night. And just if I go away from the studio and go upstairs, and then realize I forgot something and come back downstairs, he's huddled in a corner singing that song.
Sandwiches on the dance floor
while smearing mayonnaise on. Look, that's too much for the audience to handle.
There's just so much good music out on the internet.
There really is. There is music on the internet.
We'd love to play some, but of course, there may be issues with copyright.
We played some music by one of our favorite guest contributors, Ms. Kiri Vibrant. And we actually got demonetized on YouTube for that. Not that we've really been monetized yet. I think we have yet to see an actual penny from any of the YouTube views that we've had.
That's not why we do this, though. Although food would be nice.
Food would be nice. Yeah, if you could find a way to Venmo us food.
Food, yeah.
And I don't want money. I want food.
We want food coming out of our phones.
Yes.
Pizza and fruit roll-ups and stuff like that.
I would also accept having it delivered by T-shirt Cannon.
Yeah.
I am of the opinion now that most food delivery should be done by a T-shirt or related cannon.
I mean, big thick subs and hoagies are just perfect.
They're
for that
perfect
sort of
for
thing,
that.
Wrapped up in tinfoil.
And I think that if you used a suitable container, or placed it inside of like a football, you could get a Frappuccino. To us here without
it didn't open up on impact, which it invariably would.
I
don't think cannon frappuccinos are a good idea.
Really?
Cannonocinos? It's a cannonocino.
Yeah. That's good cannoncino.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a skit in there somewhere.
Probably. Yes. So we're actually thinking about doing more skits, spoofs, or humorous vignettes going forward.
We just got to get off our asses and start
our asses are hard to get off. It's the thing.
We are naturally slackers by decree.
Yes, it is the way they made us. We were born this way.
Yes, but we're good at babbling. Anyways.
Yes.
I've got another film I'd like.
You want to show another film for our audience?
I think this is an important message.
I think you're right. I see marijuana up there. Is that the film? Nope.
Well, a great deal of our audience are hardcore drug users.
Oh, that's true. So especially Petra.
I think. Yeah.
No, I know.
Petra,
she was a school teacher. She would never do that. Anyway,
okay. This is The Terrible Truth.
What is the terrible truth?
We'll find out.
Sid Davis.
We gratefully acknowledge the cooperation and assistance of Judge William B. McKesson of the Los Angeles Juvenile Court, whose sense of duty and dedication to youth welfare led him to appear in this film.
Wow.
Judge William B. McKesson is in this?
Yes. Well, it must be true.
Fudge.
If anyone had ever told me a few years ago that we would ever read headlines like these in American newspapers, I would have called him crazy. Yet here we are, reading them. In the middle of the 20th century in the United States of America, hundreds and hundreds of teenage boys and girls are becoming hopeless dope addicts every year.
Is that William McKesson
It's fantastic, it's unbelievable, and it's terrible, but it's true.
I know.
The government maintains 2 hospitals just to treat drug addicts. at
Juvenile addicts
Lexington,
admitted to
Kentucky,
2
and
U.S.
Fort Worth,
hospitals.
Texas.
2 of them?
It used to be a rare
440.
thing for a juvenile to be admitted,
That's
but
not like in
look
Los
at these
Angeles
recent
now, where
figures.
that's like
And
every
remember,
hour.
these are only confirmed
What the hell are those?
who have come to the attention of federal authorities.
Those are
How
the
many
worstly
others are
rolled
still
joints of
only
I know.
occasional
Those
users
cigarette
of marijuana
filters.
or heroin,
I'm
morphine, or in
confused.
some cases sleeping pills.
Okay,
It's
he's
pretty
on
hard to
sleeping pills.
estimate. But there's
Is he
one
actually
sure
speaking,
thing.
or did they just...
Nobody is going to stay an occasional
I don't
user
know,
very
is the
long.
audio off,
This
or-
is one game nobody beats.
Maybe.
If you use narcotics, before long you'll have the
Boy,
habit.
I feel like I'm on
Why is
drugs.
he
About the
using
hardest
narcotics?
in the
He's a
world to
judge.
break.
And this was the
And
last
the
known
dope
footage
addicts
of Bela
say-
Lugosi.
You're
Yes.
hooked. Well, how does one become hooked? The simplest way to answer that is to
Avon.
talk to someone who has
I'm
had
an old
the
man
experience.
selling Avon.
This
Look at
is
my
the home
fedora.
of Mr. and Mrs.
Fedora's
Walter
Not,
for
not
sale.
a judge trying
They
to
just
arrest
got
you
their
for
teenage daughter
marijuana.
back after a
Hello.
6-month nightmare that
You're under
even
arrest.
Edgar Allan Poe couldn't have improved on.
Yeah. Like he doesn't huff glue every evening.
That was
Mrs. Howard
literacy.
agrees to let us talk to her daughter, Phyllis, when we explained that we could use her case to help others avoid the same mistakes.
Is this your daughter?
Is that... They made her flat and
Oh my
square.
God.
This
What
is
the
Phyllis
hell?
as she looked 6 months ago.
Looks
A
like she's
senior in high school, pretty as a
babies.
picture.
Wow, she really looks like she's been on the
Just
dope.
recently, she was released
teeth.
from the narcotic ward at the county jail
Oh.
in the custody of her
she's-
parents.
She's
Hello.
hot now.
It's
Wow,
hard to
she
believe
really
that
is.
this girl is
Get
the
a few
same as
drugs
the
in
one in
her,
the
and
picture.
she's smoking.
Holy
But it
yeah.
doesn't take long for the
Yeah,
drug
she-
habit to make
Man.
anyone over.
Hello. What a smoke show.
Judge William wants a piece of that.
He absolutely does, and she wants that too.
Sorry,
She
no
wants-
offense
Phyllis
to our
wasn't
She
anxious
wants
to
the
talk about
judge's
her
deed.
experiences with dope, but
Fence.
she could see how her story
Defense.
might be used to help others, and she began to talk.
Well, I took this NyQuil, and I knew I was on a slippery slope.
And then?
And then?
She's hanging out in convertibles. That's a one way to get
I
to
guess I
become
knew
a
about
reefer head.
reefers. That's marijuana,
Tuesday,
ever since
happy
junior
day.
high.
Did she
Some
got
of
you
the
to call
boys,
them
Friday,
reefers?
happy
the
day.
ones who couldn't get along, who were afraid of
Gee,
everything.
Richie, where are we going?
You know, the ones with no backbone.
What?
But you just got in a car. Where's your backbone?
Look at those rims.
Oh my god.
White walls.
Oh.
Okay, we're all gonna park now.
In high
What?
school, my
But there's three
girlfriend
of you.
Ann and I went around with Jim and Bob.
Jim and
Man.
Bob will make out.
Yeah, that.
They
You were
both
their
smoked
beards.
pot. That's jive talk for marijuana.
Oh, well,
And
thanks for
after a
letting us
while,
know.
Ann and I got so that we did
Is
too.
that's not a joint. It's just tube of oregano. Who sold us oregano?
Yeah.
Whee!
Funny what it
Oh,
does.
she's freaking out now.
Yeah.
Speeds
Everyone-
up to
She-
100 miles
This is
an
how
hour.
she got all hot.
And then she exploded.
You think
Yeah.
you're real sharp, and you laugh a lot.
Ooh.
You feel like you're the biggest person in the world.
A young JFK is
She's
concerned.
turned into a giant. She's 60 foot
But I
tall.
didn't feel so good when I came home high that night.
Oh, I know that.
My dad
Yeah.
knew something was wrong,
I hate
but
it
he
when I
didn't know
crash.
what.
used to hit the.
Mother
he
was
used to
sure
hit the
her daughter would
methamphetamines
never do
during the
anything
war.
bad.
She's got the marijuana
I'd been
hallucinations.
smoking pot for quite a
It's
while.
a young J.
before I
Jonah
met
Jameson.
Chuck. I
Parker,
guess he
Where's
was
my
what the
pixel
newspapers
Spider-Man?
call a
I'll get
peddler.
you next time,
He supplied the kids at
Spider-Man.
school with whatever they wanted. Most of them
Hey.
used reefers like us, but
That
some
is-
liked stronger things.
That is the most well-dressed
There was
drug
something intriguing and different
seller I've
about
ever
Chuck.
seen in my life.
Yeah.
I guess I
He's got
appealed to
he's
him
got
in some way too.
a thing in his.
Anyway, I found
No.
out later what
Yeah.
it was about him. He had the heroin habit.
The heroin.
He was hooked. Chuck and I started running around together, and one night he asked me up to his place. I knew by now he started
Avert your
peddling
eyes,
after he
Scott.
got the habit,
This is-
so he could get H for
Yeah.
himself.
Oh,
He needed a lot
Come
because he
on.
had a big habit. You know
Is that,
something
is,
about
that,
hives?
is that like slang for his
They're like a
penis?
disease.
I guess.
They don't like to see
See,
anybody
honey, look,
not
I just
using
put the
it
vein like
just
this.
because they do. Chuck finally
so-
talked me into using heroin. He said it would make
Hey,
him
they're
feel
sharing
better.
needles.
This is
So
the
I
1960s
tried
version
it.
of Breaking Bad.
Yes.
But I was going to be smart.
Feels so
Just take it or leave
It's
it.
Breaking Naughty.
Nothing was
Breaking
going to
what it's
happen to
called.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before I knew it, I was hooked.
She looks like that actress.
I had a heroin habit as big as
You know
Chuck.
that actress.
I hadn't been home in
I
weeks.
can't remember.
Oh,
Beatrice
Chuck and I were
Arthur?
married, but
She's
it
got a
didn't
little
matter
bit of
very
Judy
much.
Garland.
Nothing
Could
does.
be.
Not when you're on H. All you think
On
about
H?
day and night is
we've
The
dope.
horse.
How much you've got,
We've all
where to
been
get
there.
more,
Yeah.
what you'll do if you can't get it.
The cracker.
And then
Look what
they
it's doing
got
to her
you.
hair.
They had to eventually.
brown
I
shirts.
knew that, but it didn't
Run.
matter.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing did except H. All of a
I
sudden it
know.
hit me.
They probably noticed him because of the semen stains on his pants.
He might have got rid of our supply.
Oh no, they stole the saxophonist from Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh no. What's Weezer gonna do now?
Chuck got rid of everything.
Heroin up
Probably
here.
in the garbage disposal.
Let's play Find the Heroin.
That's a favorite trick of Hype's when they're going to be arrested.
Ooh, heights.
But it left me in an awful spot.
Spare change
I needed
here?
a fix bad.
Spare change.
So
But
bad
I hear
I
the
didn't
ice
care
cream
whether I
man.
lived or died. And I didn't know whether I'd ever get another cap.
She's freaking out.
Yeah, she's freaking. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. Drug use looks exciting.
They hadn't seen or heard from their daughter in months.
Try this.
Mr. Howard checked every newspaper story that might by any remote chance have to do with Phyllis. But gradually their hopes died. They were almost convinced she was dead.
Well, she's dead. Click.
And she's dead.
But I wasn't dead.
But I
tried once to kick off the habit, but I was too far gone.
She became a phone sex
You know,
operator.
the police say, find a heroin addict and you find a criminal, and that's just about it. If you're hooked bad, it costs about $30 a day for each. Boys get the money by stealing or swiping car parts.
She's a dealer.
Maybe by holdups. Girls take up street walking or do what I did. Become peddlers themselves. When Chuck went to jail, I used his contacts and peddled dope myself.
She can drive in a
Sure,
car
I
like
knew
that?
it was wrong. But when you're hooked, you can't help
What's
yourself.
What's a cop car?
Oh, did
They
she
got
get...
me eventually, too.
Oh, she
just
got
like they
picked
did
up.
Chuck. And when I was arrested, I was almost glad. I told them I wanted help. I wanted to
Oh, they
try
had a
and kick it off.
policewoman just so they could arrest her.
It was horrible.
They hired a policewoman just to
5
arrest the
days.
female addicts.
And I didn't care whether I lived or died.
But
It
you-
feels like your skin
she
is
got
being
hospital
torn right
care.
off you, and then
Yeah.
you ache
This is
all
like
over
modern
and get
police
sick and you can't breathe.
Why is she
Your
hanging
nose
around
runs
next
and you
to
have a
that?
high fever, and then you pass out.
prison
When you
prop?
wake up, it
Right,
starts
right,
all over again. 5 days. But I was lucky. I kicked it off, and I've never used dope since. Maybe what happened to me will keep it from happening to somebody else. Or I don't even want to talk about it.
But I still have
And
to
all I
serve
hope
20
is
years.
that someday I can forget it.
So, Judge, what can I do?
Well, that's Phyllis's story. In the United States
Oh,
of America,
hi, Phyllis.
20th century.
And so he's just going to abandon
Unbelievable,
her
isn't
to the
it, that
wolves.
such
Take care,
things
bud.
can happen.
Yeah.
Phyllis's
Aren't you going to
case
help
is
her,
typical.
Judge? For
Most
God's
teenagers
sakes,
start
you
off
just
with
came here to
marijuana.
hear her story.
Then
No,
they
he
decide
came-
to see
he
if
came to
heroin has
pick up
any
some
kick.
H.
It does.
That man
Sometimes
is sick.
it only takes a few days to find
Help
out
the
they
poor
can't leave it
girl.
alone.
No,
In
just
order
wear
to
your
get
fedora
money
and
to
walk
buy
away
it, they
full
turn
of
to
smugglers.
crime.
That
And
is
that's
what they
the
tell you.
story.
Smug
There are
bastard.
practically no happy endings when you fool with drugs.
Well,
Doctors say restoring an addict to normal life is about the toughest thing in medicine.
time to go get a beer and a
Well,
cigarette.
what's the answer? Enforcement? Yes, that's one of them, certainly.
And I love
In the Far
enforcement.
East a few years back, they were lining up dope peddlers and shooting them in the back of the head.
Ah, the good old
But
days.
it didn't stop addiction.
What?
It just made it harder for victims to get the stuff.
Yeah,
No,
you gotta make
the
it
answer is a simple one. Just use your head. Leave
Oh.
narcotics
Oh.
absolutely alone. Remember
That'll
what happened
stop.
to Phyllis and others like her.
Right.
Talk
Stops
it
the
over
drug
with your
epidemic
parents or
with
school
sense.
counselor,
Yes.
somebody you have confidence in.
Like a
Some say the
confidence
Reds
man.
are promoting dope traffic in the United States to undermine national morale. They did it in China a few years back.
I think Judge Williams
It's certainly true that the
I think
increased
so.
use of
Injecting these
narcotics
thoughts
He
plays
also
right
doesn't
into their
have
hands.
teeth from the looks of it.
But why not show everybody,
Yeah, I think
including
it was in the style
ourselves,
at the time.
that
Not
young
have teeth.
American men
It's like
and
one of those
women
big brain
have too
guys
much
from the first ever
intelligence
episode of
to
Star
make
Trek.
such a stupid,
Same
ghastly,
guy.
tragic
It's really there.
mistake.
This is how they
Let's
start.
make tomorrow's
Yes.
headlines
Mate
read
now.
like this.
Oh, the dope fad is ending.
Well, that was educational.
Man,
No wonder our
the dope fad is ending, and I was just starting to get into it.
I know.
Actually,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
To the kids today watching this, don't become dope fiends like I guess I am now because I watched that show.
Dope is bad.
Dope is
Okay.
bad. You
Oh.
shouldn't get into the dope.
Okay, Petra, I'll see you later. She has to go.
Okay, Petra, good to see you. Thank you for watching the education
There
with
goes
us.
half our audience.
Yes.
Oh, God. Oh, no,
Yeah.
there's other people.
Oh, there's other people. Yay.
Yeah, maybe.
Yay,
If
people
you'd like
are
to give
watching
us a follow or something, we'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
It
Just
doesn't
think.
matter. None of this matters.
But it's okay. Well, look,
It's
okay,
okay.
I know we weren't here for like a couple of weeks,
Yeah, we
and it made you all
apologize.
sad, and
Yeah.
and you rent your garments, waiting for us to return. We're going to be doing more. We've got more shows lined up, and we have various things we can discuss as well, like our
pure, undiluted waves of masculinity that waft
sure,
off our
or
body, like
cute things we saw on Reddit. We can also talk about.
Yeah.
By the way, if you saw us distracted for a moment, we were waving at the guy that was doing laundry in our deep dark abyss.
Yeah. Laundry.
Yes, it's laundry night. Laundry night, and it's feeling right.
Yes. I don't think.
Yes.
Don't think viewers tuned in to have their ears charmed by the lucid notes of your singing.
Lucid notes.
Lucid notes. Lucid?
Dulcet?
Dulcet, that's it.
Because lucid just means, wow, that's actually a real thing I'm hearing or seeing.
I don't think you've ever been lucid. No,
never in my life.
No.
Never.
No, I used to know, the words, and I'm losing the words.
Oh, the like where
because
you talk?
I'm getting the older.
Okay.
And I've already lost the hair.
You're really old.
So I've lost the hair there.
Yeah.
I went down to the dépanneur and I asked, "Do you have anything for the hair?"
Do you have the hair?
I got the beer. You want the beer for the hair?
You got the beer for the hair,
but beer for the hair there.
You get the hair?
I'll give you. Let me get a dozen eggs there, so I can have a breakfast, 2 side by each. And
I never realized how truly French you actually are, Daniel.
Well, I got the blood in me there.
Got the blood in you.
I can talk like this.
Yeah, see what I'm doing is offensive, but it's okay for him.
Yeah, because I'm French. I got the French in me.
Yeah.
With a dip in her.
Yeah. Whereas if I were to say things like that, I'd be a big xenophobe maudit anglais.
We race up and down the strip there and all.
Oh yeah.
During the Saturday night there.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Oh,
it's never.
Show those hosers something.
Show them. Oh yeah. So so this is our imitation of the people just across the bridge from us, or bridges. There are a couple of bridges actually. And, one of them is called Jeff.
Remember when we were teenagers and it was the thing to do? Well, I didn't do it much because I wasn't like a drinker or anything. It's more of a nerd, of course.
Yeah.
But it was a big thing on like Friday and Saturday nights, especially Saturday night, for all the partying teens in Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
When the bars closed at 1, to head all over the Hull.
Oh,
because the bars there would close at 3.
Well,
and this went on for decades.
Yeah, and finally, when Ontario decided to extend their drinking hours till 2 a.m., Hull, in particular, changed their drinking hours to 2 a.m. Because they didn't want the Ottawans coming anymore.
Which is strange.
We were too disruptive.
Well, yeah.
But also, but back in those days, in the couple of years after I left high school, when I was still living in Ottawa, I briefly worked at a place. It was a bagel and coffee restaurant in the Byward Market that was open 24 hours on the weekends.
Oh yeah.
So people would come in on Friday and Saturday night. They'd start to come in around 1 a.m. around when the bars were closing in Ottawa, and they'd be drunk and they'd be they'd be drinking coffee and eating bagels with things on them and carrying on loudly, and it got quite busy. And I'll be frank, we made a lot of money, but they'd kind of do their thing, and eventually they'd filter out. But then we get another wave of people around 3 a.m. when the bars had closed in Hull, and then sometime around between 4:30 and 5:30. Someone would ask someone the time, and then they'd hear the time, and then everyone around them would go, "It's 4:30," and they'd all leave. It was oddly like clockwork. I mean, the thing is, it wasn't any one specific time, but it was a Pavlovian reaction.
Right.
That at some point, an hour and a half to 2 hours and a half away from when the bars had actually closed, they would realize that it was actually late. And they would all leave, and then we'd spend the last couple of hours of our shift cleaning up.
I could see that. I mean, midnight is the witching hour, as it's called, but 4:30 in the morning is like what the fuck am I still doing up hour?
That's
it's like it's sort of a, the time between 3 and 5 has a weird feel to it. It's even in The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot.
Yeah,
he sort of made that point.
He's like a smart guy who wrote things, right?
Yeah. But anyways, it is a weird time to be up. But hey, I imagine you have some good memories and stories of that place. And
I have some good memories and stories of that place. And actually, the restaurant industry in general is a great place for weird ass stories. And I've actually worked a number of jobs in my life that led to weird ass stories, and often stuck around because of the weird ass stories. I've been noticing lately in the pandemic and the final removal thereof, when things are starting to get back to normal, there's been a lot I've been hearing about in the press and online and such, that apparently people don't want to go back to working restaurant and service jobs. Kinds of things where you have to see people in the face day after day. And people have spent the time when they couldn't doing that reevaluating their lives, and a lot of them have decided to do other things, and I can't really blame them. Because I mean, there were a number of times when I had a good time doing restaurant work or other service work. And the thing is, though, that was kind of a nice camaraderie amongst the suck. I mean, most customers were wonderful people, but a few of them were completely awful. Most employers were good people, but a few of them were completely awful. And that, my understanding is, in the last 15 months, that whole general underlying tendency in the service industry has become, what is it I'm trying to hear? The whole fucking thing. It is the whole fucking thing now, that everyone involved is awful, except the people trying to do what they need to do to get you stuff, and they're being treated awful, and if they can find work at all. And a few of them have said, I don't want to keep doing this, and I don't blame them. And I know that I'm trying to avoid being political, generally speaking, but I'm going to say this here. The lesson that I think we're getting from this is that the small-time rich, I mean, the big-time rich certainly knows this as well, but the small-time rich are the ones who really are finding out for the first time what happens when people have bargaining power. And when they have bargaining power, when they have the ability to say no to your shit, sometimes they say no to your shit.
So a lot of restaurateurs are gonna have to step up the remuneration that they give to, because
better wages, better working conditions.
Maybe even like a dental plan or two, which sure as hell wouldn't hurt.
I mean, that would certainly help here in Canada. In the States and in any other part of the world where you don't get cheap medical care, for God's sakes, give them medical benefits. I mean, people in the front lines of the service industry are the ones most likely to get sick anytime anything awful happens. And you think that it's a good idea to pay them less than the minimum wage? Fuck that. Okay, so I mean, like I said, I try not to be political on this, because we're trying to, appeal to the general audience who come here for the wholesome content about us saying how great it would be to be addicted to heroin. So,
well, that film made it look fun.
It did make it look really fun. Like, really fun. Obviously, kids don't do drugs. You'll wind up like us. But it looked really fun.
And she just sweated a little.
Those bars were right there for her to hold on to. It was, like, nice.
I look worse most normal mornings compared to her.
That's true.
She was like, oh, the heroin.
Oh, the heroin.
Oh, sweat. Oh, my, I'm perspiring from the heroin.
Elegant heroin addict.
5 days, I'm good as new. Bing! Bing! The 50s were a magical time.
They really were. So I hope we haven't driven our whole audience away.
No.
It
is getting to be that time.
It is getting to be that time. We've done about an hour or so of this, which is kind of where we normally hit, unless we have someone who wants to keep talking. our friend Nike Abbott really loves to keep talking, and we'll have her on again soon, so we can do another 2-hour-long Mega Monster episode.
Yeah, and we'll try to find other guests and stuff, and again, we'll keep see about getting a panel show or two going.
Yeah, I mean, that's
fun stuff.
I do like meeting and talking to new people, and Dan does as well, I believe. We've certainly
for the most part, most people.
We've had we've had our good friend Francis on here, and we hope to have more local Ottawanian talent, so it's not just the Toronto show.
There's even some people on YouTube I'd like to approach, too.
YouTube.
Small streamers.
They're only this big inside the TV. Yeah. Okay. So, we've demonstrated our understanding of broadcasting. We've discussed the history of drug addiction and sandwiches. And we've talked a little about what we find funny and all that kind of thing. And I think that might count as an episode. We might have actually managed to just barely phone this thing in.
Sort of. Yeah, I mean, we learned a lot.
We learned
how to make sandwiches.
And
how to avoid heroin.
Or get addicted to heroin. Where to find your local heroin dealer. And who to approach if your heroin dealer goes into prison.
It's like that Canadian rock song, Might As Well Go for a Sandwich.
Yeah,
Might as well make your sandwich.
Nobody drowns and nobody fries.
Yeah. Might as well go for a sandwich.
It's better than letters.
I don't know.
It's better than pies. It's not.
No.
Sandwiches are great, but pies are awesome. Have you tried pies?
Yeah, they're the new thing now with the kids. Pies.
Everyone should do pies. Yeah.
Apple
You want
pie,
some pies? You want some
blueberry
pies?
pie,
I'll get you some
cherry
pies.
pie,
Why don't you
lemon
come back to me to my
meringue
pie hut?
Mince pie.
I'm going to show you
mincemeat
some pies.
Pie,
Oh yeah.
rhubarb pie.
Yeah.
Raisinberry pie. Strawberry pie.
We've been the HeyDudes.
Raspberry pie. Pumpkin pie. All right, everybody. You have an excellent pie-filled evening, and we'll see you next week.
Yes.
And if there's anything you'd like us to do or cover, just please let us know. Send us an email. It's down below in our description.
Somewhere in
or
our
something
thing.
like that. Send us a follow if you'd like.
Yeah.
And it was good to see our regulars here. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week.
Yes.
And we usually aim for Thursdays.
Yep.
But may your God